really tired of this very childish kind of analysis of film that's viewing things like a Sith is the weird phrase that keeps popping into my... I keep hearing that. Only a Sith thinks it... I keep fucking hearing that in my head and I don't know why, but I keep I do know why, because it keeps coming up in life where people are acting like Siths and just like viewing things in these weird absolutes where I'm like, are we five? You know, what are we doing here? Like, we might disagree. That's fine too. There's all sorts of content in films that reasonable people could be like, I honestly don't think the filmmaker should have put this out there because I feel like it does more harm than good. That's fine, you know, in any given, and I might, somebody might say that about a film that I would be like, I think the filmmaker should have put it here because blah, blah, blah. And that's all fine. But like talking about things like sex scenes overall or violence overall as if it's this homogenous thing that's just a matter of degrees. Like, well, if there's more nudity and the scene goes on longer, then the sex scene is more gratuitous. If the violence goes on longer and there's more gore, then it's more gratuitous or something. And that doesn't... That's not what those words mean.
Welcome to this mini episode for a little trailer for our next episode for the Celluloid Mirror. You just heard a clip from our upcoming episode, which is where Nicole, who, you know, is probably somewhere around here. Nicole, are you somewhere around here?
Hello?
Are you here,
Hello?
Nicole? Nicole,
Hello?
Are you here?
Is this the podcast?
This is the podcast.
Oh, thank God.
The podcast, the only podcast.
It was hard to find.
They can be very difficult to find, the podcasts, because they're usually not in a room.
No, and audio waves are invisible.
They are invisible.
And podcasting is an audio-only format, I've heard, unlike film.
Except video podcasts, which are getting increasingly popular.
We should do one of those.
Maybe.
You should say your name.
I did, didn't I, Sean? I'm Sean.
No.
You're Nicole. I'm Sean.
I am Nicole. And
I'm Sean. And we're the hosts of the show who sometimes know what we're doing.
Right. So we're about to record a proper episode of the podcast today, but before that, we're recording this mini episode to be released before episode 8. And we wanted to tell you a little bit about episode 8. You clearly heard a clip from it. I don't know what the clip was. I have not put it into Adobe Audition yet, so I have no idea what it will be, but I'm sure it was wonderful.
A great clip. I really liked it. I thought it was great.
Yeah, best clip ever. So that'll give you a taste of how wonderful this upcoming episode will be. We wanted to tell you about the episode, especially because it's a little different. It's a little different from our usual format. We had planned to have episode 8 be the episode we're actually about to record today. I won't tell you what that is yet. You'll have to wait
a couple
in
weeks.
Suspense, and we'll tell you soon, but not yet.
It'll be
not
super
yet,
fun.
But we weren't able to prepare in time to get this episode out to you because 50% of us had COVID.
I'm the 50% that had COVID. I got COVID, and we talk about it a little bit in the episode next week. But like the week before we were supposed to record what would have been episode 8, which is now going to be episode 9, I got very sick, and I was in bed for a couple days, and I didn't test positive for COVID at first, and then I started feeling better, and I was going to try to go back to work. I took one more COVID test and it said positive. And so I was like, well, I'm at home for the rest of the week and trying to work. I worked from home for a little bit, but also I was just burned out from, fighting the COVID. And I couldn't get properly prepared for the episode. So we decided to adapt, change things up, and do our a little check-in. At the beginning of the year, we released an episode that was our favorite movies of 2021, where we ran down our top 10s, and then we decided to let's do a mid-year. What are our favorite movies of 2022 so far? Our top 5. So that's what you're going to get next week.
And what are they? Only time will tell. Or if you were if you subscribe to our Patreon, you'd already know because we did a post of our 5 favorite films. Although, actually, let me make a note about this.
They changed.
On this episode, it did change a little. And also on this episode, I would be remiss to not mention that at the time we recorded this episode of our top 5 films of 2022 so far, I had not yet seen the film Neptune Frost, which I have now seen and is absolutely in my top 5 of 2022. So just know that while Neptune Frost is now available to be seen in theaters as well as streaming, you can rent it, you can watch it at home. It's coming out. Kino Lorber is putting out the Blu-ray next month as well. However you want to see it, I definitely recommend seeing that movie. It's fantastic. It is in my top 5 of 2022. We do not talk about it on this episode, as neither of us had seen that film at that point. Sean still has not seen it, so he's got nothing to say.
I don't even think I know that film.
It was a Kickstarter pick of ours back when we were doing Kickstarter pick of the weeks, crowdfunding.
Like 5 years ago. I barely remember last week. I can't remember 5 years ago. I've seen a couple other things, but it didn't actually change my top 5. I did end up seeing Fire Island, which I quite liked, but it landed at number 6. And Lightyear, which doesn't even crack the top 10. And Love and Thunder, which I actually haven't ranked yet. So,
but not top 5.
No. But it probably won't be that low down because I've seen a lot of not great movies this year.
That's inspiring. So that's that episode. Please listen in next week.
Tell us what you think.
Tell us what you think. Tell us what we're right about. Tell us what we're wrong about. Tell us what you want to fight us about. We love it. We love engagement.
And what are your top 5?
Yeah, what are your top 5? What do you think the best 5 films of 2022 have been so far? We would love to hear it about that. You can go to anchor.fm and click that little leave us a voicemail message.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can leave us a little voicemail right there on the website, or, hit us up on any of the social medias where we are, or email us at info@4milecircus.com, or better yet, leave us a review. We could use some more reviews. Reviews help people find the show. It is very hard for people to find the show without fresh, hot reviews coming in. So if you would like to do that, we would be ever so grateful. And we might even read your review so that our tens of listeners can hear your review. But what else were we going to talk about on this mini episode, Sean? Were we going to talk
speaking
about
of feedbacky things? Speaking of things that people said. We just did.
I love things people said.
We just did our Xanadu and Saint Maud episode. We released that, and we had some comments on some TikTok posts we shared. We had some comments on some Instagram posts we shared. And so I thought we would share a couple of those. So, for example, we posted a reel on Instagram where we talked about how maybe, about how Sunny rolls into that painting and helmets, and, don't wear a helmet. Otherwise, you can't roll into the painting on your roller skates, kids. And so we got multiple comments about helmets and the 70s. So, for example, somebody named G______Wiz said they didn't have helmets in the 70s, which I don't think is true.
Usage was less. But I believe there were helmets. Helmets were not an 80s invention.
Helmets definitely existed.
Even for rolled vehicles, because obviously helmets existed, like a knight's helmet or something.
Yes, but even for rolling around, people would put on knight helmets and roll into walls. Our buddy Karen Fleisch also said, if you wear a helmet when roller skating into the wall, you will bounce off. Thankfully, we didn't wear helmets in the 70s.
Exactly. That is the very point we were trying to make.
Exactly.
Thank you, Karen.
You're just going to bounce off of it. So
Karen gets it.
Yeah, Karen gets it. She's been to the magical land of wherever Kira is from. But on TikTok, there is a lot of defense and love of Xanadu, because we posted a post that mentions some unflattering reviews of Xanadu, and we got Xtopher DFW. Xanadu is the best. So_said_me said, please don't ruin my childhood, which I think was specifically about you saying that Kira in Xanadu is basically Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, some other people disagreed, and I don't understand why. I thought this was like such an obvious take that everybody would embrace. Doesn't everyone think Xanadu is a horror movie? And I was so serious. Also,
we have many comments. We have one of those comments that likes to explain to people about things. It's not a good explanation.
I love explainers.
This movie appealed to kids. When I was that age, I probably didn't know what a muse was either, in reference to how there's a muse. It tells people to like look up muse in the dictionary. And one of their viewers said, like, it's not confident people know what they are. And I'm just like, okay, that's a comment that you made trying to explain something that I don't think needed to be explained. I am Randy. Are you? Loved your comparison. This is the only movie I watch on repeat. I am a Xanadu maniac. So loved your comparison to Freddy.
Some people like me.
Yeah. Another Orphan World guy said, still love it despite it's a mess. Had Travolta starred with her, it might be better. I don't know that that's true.
I think that Travolta is better in this kind of material than Michael Beck is.
Probably. Michael Beck was miscast. I mean, he's good in The Warriors.
He's good in The Warriors. I guess he's not my favorite part of.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's also not my favorite part of The Warriors. But
no, yeah.
So like, look, I'm not a John Travolta stan by any stretch of the imagination. How I have disliked his presence in other movies I've seen recently, in fact, but I do think that is a fair point.
Yeah.
Might have been. Just because I think he would have been better in that ridiculousness.
Yeah, and we already know that they had chemistry. So
yeah, and he's a better dancer.
And yeah.
You know, like he's just a better song and dance man than Michael Beck is. So excellent point, Randy something, right?
Orphan World guy.
Oh, sorry. Orphan World guy. Excellent point. I agree.
And then we had Blue Ridge John say, I watch Xanadu often, and not once have I ever had any horror movie vibes from it. So
I am shocked. Shocked
by that. And then Xanadu said, love Xanadu. I don't give a shit what anybody says, which is
as
reasonable.
Advertised by your username, Xanadu.
You are the Xanadu. One of the people who had previously commented on not really any, they just quoted the movie at one point. In the other one, Petra DeLuca said, I am never leaving Xanadu TikTok, on one of the posts that I put up, and on the other one had said, and now do you believe me, Sonny? I saw this once in theaters when it came out, and I still remember that part. So they saw Xanadu once when the movie came out, and now they're on Xanadu TikTok, and they're never leaving, apparently.
Beautiful. So, that's our goal. Just trap everyone in Xanadu TikTok. It's kind of like the realm you can roller skate into.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of neon here.
There is a lot of neon here. Anyway, that's
Greek gods going by other names.
Those are the comments that we've gotten. It's always fun to hear what people say, even if we, don't agree with you or make fun of you, maybe just a little bit. That's mostly just because we're jerks. That's not really a reflection on you. It's really just that we're not nice people. So you're just gonna have to live with that. As Nicole said, we don't really have any new reviews. It'd be fun to have a new review on Apple Podcasts, if that's where you listen. That would be fun. So, or
Spotify. You can review us on Spotify.
Can you review Spotify, or can you just leave a rating?
No, I think you can leave a review, but you have to listen to a certain number of episodes first. I believe.
That's reasonable.
I think.
That's reasonable.
Yeah,
Hopefully everybody's listened to like lots of episodes and they can leave lots of reviews and they'll be very happy. We'll all be very happy. Leave lots of reviews.
It'll be wonderful.
It's great.
Yeah. All the reviews. And on that note, we should probably record our next episode, shouldn't we?
We should. We should do that. Our next episode on... Yeah, they should be very excited about that. They will see in about 2 weeks when we do the mini before that one. Or
go on Twitter and see a post that by the time you hear this will have been posted about 5 days ago, in which I shared some context-free spoilers for this episode. Maybe you can figure it out what it is.
Maybe you can. I doubt it.
But if you do, you win a prize, and the prize is our respect.
Is that a prize? Like,
the prize is our respect.
All right.
And that said,
here's another clip.
Here's another clip. Enjoy it. Review us. Contact us.
Leave comments. All that stuff. We like hearing them.
Don't get COVID. Don't get COVID.
No, it was a bummer.
Don't get monkeypox either.
Yeah.
Don't get monkeypox either.
I haven't even been tracking that one. Just don't touch anybody ever again.
Great times. Okay, bye.
Bye, everybody.
I'm getting really tired of a thing that we all encounter a lot when we watch horror movies and things, and including some that I very much love, where things like age or when we were talking earlier about like the Joker disfigurement of any kind of realistic sort being directly translated to a kind of monstrosity, and that view being encouraged is troubling to me and has real world implications that I don't think are great. But it's not easy to always tease that out directly from, making a film that just engages with the fact that most of us have fears about aging, whatever our age is, and we don't need to pretend that's not there. We don't need to avoid that as a topic. And if we delve into the topic, you're probably going to create stuff that is going to play into and or be perceived as being ageist, unless you're doing the thing I said earlier isn't my favorite, of like writing a speech instead of making a movie. Like if you do something that's very didactic and you're like, I want to make it clear, I don't want anybody to be able to misunderstand my intentions as the filmmaker at any moment, so I'm going to do what is it? It's in like, don't be a menace while drinking your juice in the hood. I think that's the one where every once in a while a character will like pop in from the side and be like, message, whenever like
I haven't seen that movie, but okay.
You should watch it when there's like a social message and they want to make sure the audience gets that, like, no, there is a message here, And sometimes I appreciate polemical films or didactic films. I'm not saying never, but that's not what I want most of my diet of filmmaking to be, or the only way I want people to engage issues. The Celluloid Mirror is a 4 Mile Circus production hosted by Nicole Solomon, that's me, and Sean Mannion. Our theme music is Twisted by Kevin MacLeod. You can hear more from Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.filmmusic.io. Please take a few minutes to rate and review The Celluloid Mirror on your podcast platform of choice. It really helps other people discover the show. And if you have questions or comments about what you heard on the show or suggestions for future episodes, please email us at info@4milecircus.com or seek us out on social media. We are at 4 Mile Circus on Twitter and Instagram. Want more Celluloid Mirror and more from me and Sean? Well, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/4milecircus, where you will get early access to episodes of the Celluloid Mirror, as well as uncut video of our recording sessions, featuring stuff that doesn't make it to the final episodes, and access to our Discord server, Patreon-only events, and so very much more. To learn more about everything we do, visit us at 4milecircus.com.